Hello, teacher. This is Marco Antonio here. And on this video, I'll be talking about um, the classroom environment and some strategies in order to make it nice and enjoyable, right? Um, there are many strategies to achieve those. For example, I will mention some of them. Be clear about the learning objectives, right? And the students need to know and that there are some objectives in order to learn, and we have to offer variety experiences, because if we only offer just one style, they'll become bored, probably lose some interest in the subject. Also offer rewards, positive reinforcement, allowed all the students to work together, and the students love it, so they will become more interesting, and also encourage self-reflection and some other strategies that we have been learning in the classroom. But I would love to emphasize two of them. The first is to change your scenery, right? From time to time, there are like, it's about 10 months that we get to spend in class with the students. So it's nice, it is nice, a change from time to time, you see. For example, if you're if the institution you're working at have lovely gardens or a nice area to read, for instance, or to carry out another activities, students will love and will appreciate it. So change your scenery from time to time will be very, very good for them, because the brain loves to do new stuff. Also, you as a teacher, you have to know your students. And when I say know your students, it's not enough with knowing them by names, right? You need to get to know them, like you have to show them a real interest and care about their needs, because sometimes, we don't know what kind of home they have, what kind of problems they might be struggling with, and we might be the appropriate adult to get to hear what the real problems are, and then try to support them, try to conduct them in a positive path towards their future lives. Okay, so this was the first point, and motivating students. Okay, so let's go to the next point, which is dealing with cheating, and this is very common here in South America. Well, apparently all over the world, because apparently more about 67% of the students have admitted that they have cheated on exams, and then they don't really see the dangers of this and in their future life. So our role as our teacher is like, don't panic, okay? Sometimes it's not always the best strategy to just only punish them. It is necessary to make them understand what are the benefits of being in integrity and what are the dangers of cheating, right? And in any perspective, I mean, we're talking about academically the dishonesty, all right, but in any aspect of their future lives. And in order to do so, we have to take we have, first of all, we have to find the reasons why, okay? We have to find the reasons why cheating was committed, and then and only then find solutions to that problem. Of course, it cannot be ignored. There must be a punishment, and we have to explain to students what are the values of integrity, and take some disciplinary action, of course, and most of all, prevent future cheating, right? And in order to do so, we have to praise effort, not outcome, okay? So a grade, sorry, is not that important as showing effort, showing that a student did work towards gaining the grade, whatever is the grade that they got in any assignment or project, okay? The next strategy in order to have a nice and enjoyable um, classroom environment is to discouraging and detecting plagiarism, okay? Somewhat, this point is related to the one what we previously seen, dealing with cheating. So dealing with discouraging plagiarism is more or less the same, right? And on this point, you as a teacher will have to prepare yourself, to prepare your students, and to prepare your assignments in order to find plagiarisms, right? So In order to prepare yourself, you have to become familiar with the procedures at your workplace, okay? And of course, using technology to detect plagiarism. Nowadays, there are many software in order to see if a work was not made by the student. We have, like, for instance, coding and so on and so forth. So in order to prepare your students, you need to explain them that what these concepts, right? What is plagiarism? What is intellectual property? What is copyright? What is collaboration? A specific academic integrity, okay? And of course, you have to make them understand that if they use someone else's ideas, they have to, let's say, at least tell in an explicit way or in a written way that they took their ideas from this author, and then they develop certain work for themselves based on those ideas, not just copy those ideas, okay? And finally, you need to work on your assignments, because if you want to avoid plagiarism, you have to make your assignments like unique, personalized. You have to adopt. You have to take specific topics, and also to change those topics from one semester to the next semester, or from one academic period to the next, because you don't want to teach every single time the same thing, right? And of course, when you set an assignment, you have to require your students a minimum of number of references, of type of references, using the internet, you see. And of course, maybe one of the best ways is to assign them orally, right? So you get to know if that student really worked on it and made a presentation that actually makes sense and was in concordance with the job they hand in. All right, let's move to the next point, which is incivility. Okay, and this will depend a lot on the teacher's personality and the school environment as well. It's not the same, let's say, work in a public school on the outskirts of the city or in a suburb than to work in a private school. Okay, well, although sometimes they behave worse than the others, but I think you know what I mean. Anyways, incivility. Of course, we have to prevent unwanted behavior in class. Okay, we have to, for example, confiscate any source of distraction like cell phones or some other material which has nothing to do with the class. We have to avoid any kind of distractors. Okay, and this next point is very useful, and I have personally been experienced this. Okay, at the beginning of the year, you get the students gathered all together, and you please tell them to, and they create their own rules, and you will be there like a supervisor. Okay, because they have to come with something concrete, and because they are creating their own rules for a good behavior, they should have to sign in and to commit to follow the rules. Okay, the rules that they themselves have made. And of course, you as an adult in the class, you have to model and make your students know that what you expect from them, from their behavior, right? Of course, you do not have to tolerate any act of incivility in class and report it immediately to the inspection office, because otherwise, if you do nothing at the first time, the first acts of incivility, then you will lose control of your class. So you want to take immediate action about it. Okay, the next point is diversity and creating all-inclusive classroom. As you can see nowadays with this with the globalism theme, in class we have representatives of every single group of students, and some of them belong to certain kind of race or cultural background. So, and they are all welcome in your class, right? And the mirror and the classroom has become a mirror of a globalized world we live in. Therefore, you have to show interest in interacting with all the students, not just a specific group, not just the smart ones, not just the weak ones, not just whatever group it is. You have to show interest in all your students, okay, in order to make your classroom inclusive, okay? And of course, you have to make students that they belong to your class. You have to talk to every single one of them, okay? You have to get your students as individuals, as I said before. You have to like show real interest in them so they feel valued, okay? And allow your students to disagree with you or with others, because we could agree to disagree, okay? The next concept is harassment and discrimination. It's very, unfortunately, is very popular nowadays, and it's present almost in all schools in many ways, okay? Sorry, but you as a teacher, you should not tolerate any act of the discriminatory harassment. It could be verbal, it could be written, it could be visual, it could be even physical conduct, okay? And this conduct is negative because it denigrates or shows hostility towards an individual because of many reasons like race, color, gender, nationality, origin, religion, age, even maybe age, right? Yeah, believe it or not, physical or mental disability, sexual orientation, and so on and so forth. So what do we have to do in order to fight harassment and discrimination? Well, here are the tips. Encourage universal respect for everyone, right? And just like that, because we are human beings, we all should respect each other. And you as a teacher, you want to provide a safe learning environment, and you show that you care for your students' well-being. And finally, I'll be talking about the professional conduct, right? What is expected from us as teachers. And as you can see in the graphic, a teacher is someone whose performance is expected integrity, trustworthiness, handiness, respect, stewardness, compliance, confidentiality, okay? So there are many roles that we carry out as teachers. And of course, people, our students, parents, and work colleagues can expect from us that we look for the benefit of others. That's our main function. We have to care for everyone. We have to act with dignity always, and doing no physical or emotional harm to anyone. But in fact, we have to look the other way around, right? We have to respect, we have to encourage their confidence and stuff. And we have to act fairness and equity with everyone, not having favorite students and giving them like easy tens. And if someone is not like if someone doesn't like us, then punish them with bad grades. That shouldn't be the way to go, right? We have to act with fidelity and honesty towards every single students, and also towards every single work colleague that we work on. And we have to respect everybody, because we are not the same, and it's okay to be different. There's no problem with that. And of course, we have to respect the autonomy of others. It means that every teacher might have his own methods, his own ways, his own strategies. As long as they are okay and they are moral, we should be okay with them. Okay, teacher, that was my presentation. Thank you for making us understand all these basic concepts and strategies that we should apply and keep in our class in order to have a nice and safe environment, classroom environment for our learners. Thank you very much.